Hey there, welcome back to Twisted Hood. Here, we unravel the most fascinating and gripping crime stories that will keep you hooked. If you're as obsessed with true crime as we are, show some love by hitting that like button, dropping a comment, and subscribing to the channel. Trust us, you won't want to miss the twists and turns we have coming your way. Udupi, Karnataka, a town known for its serene landscapes and temples. Here lived Balakrishna Pujari, a 44-year-old man who owned a modest but successful hotel. His life was stable, not too rich, not too poor, but happy. 17 years ago, he married a woman named Pratima. Together, they built a life, raising 2 children in a seemingly content household. As the years passed, Pratima decided she wanted to contribute financially. With her husband's support, she opened a beauty parlor. Business thrived, and their life continued without major troubles. Balakrishna had a special bond with his brother-in-law, Sandeep, Pratima's younger brother. The two were inseparable, more than just in-laws. They were brothers in every sense. The family often joked about their closeness, and Sandeep was the one person Balakrishna turned to whenever he had issues, even marital disagreements. Then in August, something changed. Balakrishna began feeling ill, vomiting, fever, constant fatigue. Local doctors treated him, but his condition worsened. Soon, he was admitted to a hospital, then another, and another. Over 2 months, he was examined in 9 different hospitals, from Udupi to Bengaluru, yet no one could diagnose his illness. His condition fluctuated, some days better, some worse. Finally, in mid-October, doctors declared him fit to return home. On October 19th, Pratima brought her husband back to their house in Karakala, Udupi. The family was overjoyed. Relatives, friends, and neighbors gathered to celebrate his homecoming. Sandeep was particularly relieved. He had been constantly by his brother-in-law's side throughout the ordeal. As the night deepened, the guests began to leave. Some relatives wanted to stay, but Pratima insisted they all go home. Even Sandeep was asked to leave despite his protests. She assured him that Balakrishna needed rest and that she would call if anything happened. Reluctantly, he left. At around 1:30 a.m., a shadow entered the house. The front door was already unlocked. The intruder moved silently through the house and hid in the bathroom. Pratima checked outside, ensuring no one was watching. Then she locked the door, walked to the bathroom, and led the stranger to the bedroom where Balakrishna lay sleeping. Without hesitation, the man grabbed a pillow and pressed it firmly against Balakrishna's face. He woke up, struggling desperately to breathe. But before he could fight back, Pratima climbed onto his chest, pinning him down with her weight. She twisted his arms behind him while the intruder smothered him. Minutes passed. Balakrishna's struggles weakened, then ceased. His body went still. Satisfied that he was dead, the man slipped out of the house and disappeared into the night. Pratima locked the door behind him, then calmly set about cleaning up the evidence. She adjusted the bedsheets, straightened the pillows, and ensured there were no signs of struggle. At 3 a.m., she picked up her phone and began making calls. First, she called her in-laws, sobbing uncontrollably. "I don't know what happened. He isn't responding. Please come quickly." Next, she called Sandeep, playing the role of a distraught widow. "Something's wrong with your brother-in-law. He's not moving." By 4 a.m., the house was crowded once again. Relatives and neighbors stood around Balakrishna's lifeless body. A local doctor was called, who confirmed what they all feared. He was gone. Everyone assumed his long illness had finally claimed his life. Funeral arrangements were made. But Sandeep noticed something odd. His beloved brother-in-law's face bore red marks. A faint bruise circled his neck. The more he looked, the more uneasy he felt. He pulled Pratima aside. "What happened to his face?" he demanded. Pratima feigned innocence. I don't know. Maybe when I found him unresponsive, I panicked and threw water on him. I even shook him. That must be it." Sandeep wasn't convinced. He approached Balakrishna's father and insisted on a post-mortem examination. Initially hesitant, the grieving father finally agreed. The body was sent for autopsy. 3 days later, the report came back. Cause of death: strangulation. This was no natural death. It was murder. Determined to uncover the truth, Sandeep confronted Pratima again. This time, he had a name in mind. Was Dilip Hegde here that night? He asked. Pratima's face turned pale. Dilip Hegde, a 28-year-old businessman's son, had met Pratima years ago during the pandemic. With salons closed and lockdowns in effect, social media had become her escape. That was how she met Dilip, and soon their friendship had turned into something more. Balakrishna had suspected the affair. He had warned Pratima. Even Sandeep had spoken to her about it, but she denied everything. Now, standing before her brother, she realized the walls were closing in. Sandeep pressed further. Tell me the truth, or I'll make sure you regret it. Cornered, Pratima broke down. Yes, Dilip was here. We did it together. But please, save me from the police. Unknown to her, Sandeep had been recording their conversation. He took the evidence straight to the police. That evening, the authorities arrested Pratima and Dilip. As news of the confession spread, the shocking betrayal of Balakrishna Pujari became the talk of the town. In the end, justice was served, but at the cost of a life lost to greed, deception, and an illicit love affair. The bond between a brother and a beloved brother-in-law had ultimately revealed the truth, but it had come too late to save the man who had trusted too much and loved too deeply. That's it in this crime thriller episode. We'll be back soon with more such exciting crime stories. Until then, take care of yourself, stay healthy, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you're ready for what's next. See you soon.